Welcome back to the Outreach Project family. This is Josh.
This is Zach.
This is Sadie.
Hello, Sadie.
What's up?
Fun fact about Sadie, she's never been to Portside Pizza.
I have not.
Do you know where Tri-Lakes is?
I mean, not really. I mean, I've been there. I couldn't tell you where, like, how to get there, but...
Zach, what's your favorite menu item at Portside?
I don't know their menu, like, by heart, but their breadsticks are pretty good, usually.
Oh.
Portside, if you're listening and you ever want to sponsor on this episode or podcast, I love Bubba's Hawaiian Chicken. How
often do you go to Portside?
Chicken?
My family, I mean, I don't live with them anymore since, like, I'm a grown-up.
Oh, yeah.
But, we went bi-weekly, probably.
Oh, my gosh.
It's really good.
Like, regulars there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only pizza you guys got or something?
Dang near, dude.
Do they
I
have
love
pasta?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Okay.
They have calzone.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what a calzone is?
No.
It's like a big pizza
It's
roll.
like, yeah.
Oh, okay.
You kind of eat it with a fork. I don't know.
Oh, nice.
I'm not a fan, but
Something
whatever.
different.
So, Sadie,
Yeah.
how do we know you? Why are you here?
Yeah, so I go to First Church, so I know you guys through Young Adult Group and through church, and yeah, I'm here because I want to share my story, and yeah.
And stories are powerful. We can encourage people, meet people where they're at. And I'm excited because we honestly haven't had a big female guest list on this podcast.
Oh, we haven't.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Representing the minority here.
Whoa. That makes us sound bad, but it's okay. So you tell us a little bit about your growing up, where you're from, what you do.
Yeah.
But just who you are.
I grew up in Leo, which is north of Fort Wayne, and that's where I was born. And my dad has been a pastor since I was born. And we went to a church there in Leo, and I loved it. It was like a really cute small town. I felt like I don't know, we didn't know that many people in town, but like we walked everywhere. It was really fun. I loved it. It was great. I would say I never thought that we would move from Leo. And so it was really interesting. Probably in 2019, we moved from Leo to Columbia City. That's when we started coming to First Church. And
It's like right before COVID.
yeah. Yeah, we came here, I think we moved June of 2019. And then COVID hit March of 2020. So we didn't have much time here before everything shut down, which was really interesting.
That's a weird time to move.
Yeah. No, it was very strange.
But then you kind of hopped into our youth group around that time.
I think I was a sophomore at that point when I came. Pretty sure.
So were we then. Yep.
Yep.
We were in the same grade.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how was that transition like from your church to this church, as you thought you never would leave Leo?
Yeah. From Leo, we were at the church, and my dad had been senior pastor there for years. And we had decided to merge with a different church, and there were just some things that happened that were like hurtful, and we didn't feel like we could stay there anymore. And so it reached a point where my dad was like, you know what, like, I'm going to start looking for a new job. So we were in the job search for a while. I kind of took a season of like, I went to different churches and I explored, and I went to my sister's church, and I did some like processing because I had just grown up at one church. So it was nice to kind of get a feel for like how people do it differently, different ministries and stuff. So we went to a couple different churches that my dad was interested in, and then we came to First Church. And I remember I didn't come with my parents the first time they came, but they told me when they got home, they were like, there's this huge section of youth. Like there's like 30 or 40 like kids that sit up front. And like, I remember my mom telling me that she cried because she was like, this is perfect for Sadie. Like she will have community. And so that was really cool. I was like, oh my gosh, like that's awesome. I mean, the first time I came to youth group, I was scared to death because it was like, I mean, it was really intimidating, but I feel like I made it happen.
Well, there's like probably 100 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sunday nights were really full.
How many were in your old youth group?
Total, like middle school and high school, it was probably 30 or 40. So like decent size.
I've heard of smaller, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like we had a decent size, but our church together, like as a whole, was like 150 weekly. So coming here to like probably 900 weekly was different. It was a big adjustment. So I liked it, but it was just different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And were you the only kid living at home when you made the transition?
When we first moved, I was. And then I have 3 older sisters. So 2 of them had already been moved out for a while. And then my one sister was dating at the time. And so she was going to her boyfriend's church. So I was kind of the only kid making the transition to a different church.
Okay.
Which was, I mean, that was hard too because I didn't have anybody to like rely on, which maybe was good for me.
Yeah. Let's step back to growing up.
Yeah.
Where did you go to school? What was your family like? What did you guys do for fun? And how in the world did your dad survive with all the women in
4
the
girls.
house?
Yeah, that's a good question. You might want to ask him because we probably have different takes on that. But
Okay.
I have 3 older sisters, and I'm the baby of 4, and that was really interesting. My take on it is that I was like manipulated and abused as a child, but their take of it is that I was spoiled. So just different perspectives. But I'm trying to think, what did we do for fun? We watched a lot of movies. We lived right on the backyard of a football field, so like every night we would just like sit out and watch the games or watch practice or whatever. It was really fun. Like we would hear the band. The band playing on Saturday morning at 7 a.m. was not ideal. Yeah, that was
Did
rough.
you deal with that?
We heard it a little bit, but not a lot.
Okay.
They always went in that like auxiliary lot.
Oh, yeah.
So we didn't hear
Okay.
them.
But the people over there.
But like Friday night after the game,
yeah.
the lights being on for like
Hours.
an hour extra for no reason, trying to go to bed and just blind.
No
Is-
reason. Probably the janitors.
Yeah.
Like our house would be completely lit up until they shut them off, and like every Friday night.
Like just illuminated.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my room faced the football field. So just a light like direct shining in. And so we had like blackout curtains, like we were ready to like go to bed. But it was really fun. We would generally, if there was a game on a Friday night, we would have cookouts in our backyard, and we would like pass hot dogs through the chain link to people so that they didn't have to pay for it. We would just make them hot dogs on the
Wow.
fire. It was great.
Clutch.
We had a good gig going.
You should have charged.
We should have charged. We did think about it, but we were like, oh, no.
That sounds messed up.
Even
It
like
does.
50 cents a hot dog.
But
though.
I know.
that might be illegal.
Why?
Or just like morally wrong to take away from schools.
maybe morally
Yeah.
wrong. I don't think
The
there's
concessions at school are probably a little more important.
maybe.
We were still probably taking away from their business, though.
I mean,
I
yeah.
mean,
But
unfortunately.
it was for a good cause.
Yeah. We'll put
What
it
was
that
the
way.
cause?
Ministry.
Feed the hungry.
Anyway,
Anyway, but I was homeschooled, so I was home all day, every day. There were times when I would be in my backyard and there'd be people running on the track for like, physical exercise, and I would be out there and they'd be like, "Why aren't you in school?" I was like, "'Cause I'm at home doing school." That was
Who
my side of
did your
story.
mom teach you? Mm-hmm. All 4 of you guys?
From K through 12, all 4 of us. Bless her heart. I don't know how she did it.
Would you do homeschool again if you had the choice?
That's a good question. Yes. I think I didn't ever know anything different because I was not public schooled. I think there are aspects of public school that I would have loved, like being with people all the time. But then there are aspects that I probably wouldn't have, like being with people all the time. Like it just, I think it would have depended. It would have changed so much of how I grew up. It would have been so
Oh,
different.
yeah.
Yeah.
You would have went to Leo.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Nothing against Leo, but I've heard not good things about it. So,
I mean, every school there's
right.
crap.
Yeah. Yeah. I did know a lot of people from Leo, though, because of our church was also right across the street from it. So there were a lot of people that would just, like, come to youth group. And
you had your church friends.
Yeah. I was going to say, that was probably my community. We had co-op, too, every Thursday. So,
fun.
That growing up. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. Let's talk about a little bit of your faith life. I'm assuming your parents taught you about Jesus.
They did. I was raised in a very Jesus-centered household. I would say I accepted Christ at probably 7 or 8, but I didn't necessarily start. I mean, you're really young still at 7 and 8. So probably around 15 when we made the move here was when I like actually began pursuing Christ as an individual, as opposed to just like, this is normal. This is what we do. So yeah, that challenged me a lot. The move was very challenging in that way. So, and I got baptized here, which is fun.
Really?
I got baptized at First Church.
Like how soon after you made the move?
I think it was, so we moved here June of 2019. I think I got baptized I think it was right before COVID. I think. Pretty sure.
Was it your dad?
Yes, which is really fun.
Yeah, that's a really cool moment.
Yeah.
How was he, what role did he play in your faith growing up and now?
I was going to say, I mean, growing up with a pastor as a dad, like there's just kind of a built-in understanding, and he's been really, him and my mom both, like they were really formative in my growing up and just discipling me. They led a young adult group for probably from my age, like 5 to 12 or 13. Like it was years. So kind of like what Jeremy and Maureen do. And so there were young adults at my house all the time, and I loved it because I got to like be in their adult conversations sometimes, and I could talk to them, and they poured into me, and my parents loved having them there. So it was just, that was really fun. That was also part of how I like learned how to talk to adults because they were at our house all day, every day. So that was really fun.
Now, I think some maybe non-believers may push the narrative of, well, you're a pastor's kid, you were born with it. Like, what do you say when you're like, no, my faith's my own? Like,
that's a really good question. I think that I actually haven't gotten as much of that, probably. I think a lot of people at First Church actually don't know who my dad is, surprisingly. Like, they don't know that we're connected. I mean, my community does,
true.
Obviously. Yeah. But there are so many people that I talk to that are like, wait a second, like, you're Brad's daughter. And I'm like, yeah, I am. So it's just interesting thinking, like, people don't actually associate me with him. So that has not necessarily been an issue here. At my old church, it was just kind of an expectation. I felt like there was a different, I don't know, like people being friends with me felt different, I think, sometimes than what having your dad not be this head pastor.
they had to like walk on eggshells around you.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. And maybe I put some of that on myself too. I was kind of a brat as a child, so.
Really?
I was.
Did you get in trouble?
No, I was more the one that was bossing everybody around, and I was just kind of, I don't know, I was just mean. As a kid. Hey, now I understand that I was, and I can admit it, so.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, now we can announce to the public that Brad has a daughter.
That's true. I am Brad's daughter.
This is Pastor Brad Miller's daughter.
This is a 20-year-old gender reveal.
There you go. Yay.
It's a girl.
Surprise!
Oh my gosh. That's so funny. That's hilarious.
Yeah, so you currently serve, you worship on the worship team. You teach 6th grade, now 7th grade. If you're doing that again. If not, we can cut that out.
I'm undecided at this point.
Okay. Yeah, but you worked here for a little bit.
I did.
I guess, where are you involved? What are you doing now?
Yeah, so I work full-time in Fort Wayne. I work at a pediatric doctor's office, so I'm a receptionist there. Technically, my title is registration specialist, but it's the same.
That sounds a lot
Yeah,
better.
say
Does
that.
it really?
That sounds a lot fancier.
You need to say that every
I do say
time.
a lot of stuff, I do a lot of stuff there, more than just like a receptionist.
Yeah, so say
Specialist
that.
sounds, specialist sounds like
yeah.
you know what you're doing.
Well, hopefully I do. Okay, so I'm a registration specialist. And I just check people in and out and answer the phone. I do a lot of like insurance stuff. I love it. It has been a very growing thing for me, and like, it's cool because I get to talk to people every day, and this is somewhere that like I am meeting people right where they're at, and like nobody wants to be at the doctor's office. So
Facts.
especially for their kids, like that's brutal. So if I can make it a little bit easier for them to be there and make their process as like seamless as possible, that's my hope. And I've tried to like make sure that it's part of my ministry to be there, and especially with my coworkers too. Like I work with a lot of different people, so it's fun. It's a good thing.
And then you part of young adults worship team. Mm-hmm. You do art.
I do. I haven't as much recently because I've been busy, but I do. I like to draw. I do sing on the worship team. Let's see. I worked with 6th grade this last year, which was fun. I went on the winter retreat, which was awesome. That was my first year going.
Next year will be your second year.
Anyway, that's true. That's a good point.
Boom. She's back.
That's how that works.
I am leaning towards yes, so we can probably keep that in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't let Dana know, so don't tell her. But
We can't.
Might want to let her know. Might want to let her know
I'll
the next
text her
2 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Dana, if you're listening, please let us know. That'd be kind of cool. But
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll need to reach out to me and be like, like,
So you're going to tell them but not me? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, so I do that, and that was really fun. It was definitely like, it was a challenge, but I was with some really cool leaders. And I felt like, this was, I think, all of our first years doing it. And so how cool is it? Like, we all kind of just jumped in together, and we had a really small group of people. Like, we had a lot of 6th grade boys, and then like 1, maybe 2 6th grade girls weekly. Hardly even that. So it was an interesting kind of dynamic for sure, but it was really fun. I had a really good time.
Well, I guess, how did your guys' group work? Did you ever like rotate who led a lesson, who did games?
We did, yeah. Normally it was, we would kind of volunteer week by week. So someone would lead games, someone would lead the lesson. And I think I led the lesson twice, maybe. And it's different. It's different with 6th graders. Mm-hmm. It's very, you have to be very flexible how you like teach and lead, and yeah.
The attention span might not.
Definitely. Oh my gosh. Yeah. 10-minute lesson tops. And if we went over that, it was like a struggle. But it was fun. I mean,
happens.
I was going to say, yeah. And it's where they're at. So use that 10 minutes for the best we can.
Mm-hmm. And let's touch on worship. Mm-hmm. You're big into worship. Mm-hmm. What does worship mean to you?
Yeah. So I first started like, at least musically, my sister took music lessons a lot. And so I kind of just like grew up singing with her. And then she was actually our worship leader for a while at our old church. And so I joined it, and then I was on my youth band at my old church. And so I was really comfortable with it. And I would say coming to First Church, I have grown so much in like defining what worship is. And I think sometimes we like just picture worship as singing and you're standing in a sanctuary. And obviously corporate worship is so important, but I think I have been able to grow in my individual kind of worship. And so being able to lead then from Sunday morning standpoint, it feels easier because I am able to worship with people knowing that my worship with the Lord privately is meaningful and deep, and I'm there, and it's just really cool. So I love it. I also dance, so that's a part of my worship as well. I did a ministry for 15 years where we used dance as a way to worship the Lord, and that was, amazing. And it has altered the way that I worship now, which is cool. So
It's also unheard of, really.
yeah,
You're
kind
the
of
only
uncommon.
and first person I've known to do that.
Yeah.
How'd you get into that?
My sisters all did it. And I just wanted to be like them. So I joined it at 3 and I didn't stop until this last spring. Mm-hmm. So I just loved it. And I had a really good community there. It's mostly girls and it's very not competitive. Like that's not the goal of it. And so you kind of grow a family. And that was probably my most consistent community, especially when we moved, because I stayed there still even after we moved, so that was really nice to be there.
Yeah, that's cool. And then, sorry listeners, that was rough. And then here you started kind of in our youth group doing a bit of worship, and now you're on the stage. How is that? Is that scary?
No, not anymore. It was at first, but it's not. I think that the leaders like Holly and Elijah and other people, like they're so good about making it not scary, because it's not about like you're in the audience and we're on stage. It's so much more of like a partnership, if that makes sense. So it doesn't really feel scary anymore, which is amazing.
And it's not like, it's not a concert or a show.
Yeah. And you're not measured based on your skill. Like there's not, I don't know, like it's just, we want to train people in the art of worship. And obviously technically, like we want to be good technically, but it's not, I don't know. I don't think I've ever had a comment from a leader about like my skill, if that makes sense. Like you're not judged based on that, which is amazing. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Cool. And then let's touch on kind of what you're in with the Lord right now on personal time. Are you in any books studying?
So right now I am studying heaven, which I didn't necessarily know that I was going to do that, but I was kind of looking for something, and my dad had recommended this book called Heaven by Randy Alcorn, if you want to look it up. And it's been amazing.
We're going to bleep that out. No plugs.
We're not going to bleep that out. There's no point to bleep that out.
You shout out things all the time. Can I shout out Randy
shout
Alcorn?
out podcast.
If you want to shout out, hit us up. It's not even.
Probably shout
It's
you
going
out.
to be free.
Yeah, like, it's just what we do.
Well, anyway, yeah. So I have it's been really cool. I feel like I don't talk about heaven enough, or I don't think about it enough for what it is. And I think that it's been really cool. And it has changed my perspective on like what I do here on earth and how I use my time here. And like, it's actually given more value to what I'm doing in my life here. And that has really helped me. Like just, especially because I feel like I'm kind of in a phase of like not knowing what I'm going to do next. And that's okay. Like my purpose here is to love people, and I can do that knowing that my place is in heaven. So I think that's cool. I think personally, which I'm going to shout out Passion with this one, because I would say
that's what we do.
It happens almost every episode. So this past Passion was my second one. And going into this one, I felt pretty closed off for some reason. Didn't know why. And when I went, I definitely was like, I don't know. I was praying to the Lord that he would allow my heart to be open to what he needed to do. And so there were a couple times where I was like in worship and I was like, Lord, I want to worship, but like I don't feel like I'm able to worship right now. And I kept getting this like visual of, and you guys have probably heard this before, but I kept getting this visual of a table, and I felt like the Lord was telling me like, I have prepared this table for you and it is good, and I have made it for you, and there's a seat for you at the table. And he was kind of prompting me like, what's holding you back from sitting with him or from feasting with the Lord? And so that was kind of what I took away from Passion. And little did I know that has actually that has been a continuous theme that I feel like the Lord is teaching me what it means to sit with him. And that's in my family, that's in worship, that's in like transitions and things ending. Like dance just ended and that was hard. And so I think he has been really faithful and really kind in that way. And it's been really cool to get to like, I don't know, learn what it means to dine at his table. And now with this heaven study, like that's the ultimate table and that's where we'll all be feasting. And so it's cool to see that like picture of what the future holds.
What kind of scripture does that study go into?
A lot of it is in Revelation. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of like future stuff talked about in Revelation and Isaiah. It's talked about a lot. It bounces around. I feel like heaven is a really common theme in scripture, but I feel like I jump over it a lot somehow. So, but it's been really cool. And I like started a playlist with songs about heaven, and that's helped me worship in it, and it's been cool.
I guess my favorite thing about heaven is I just did like a joy study with my sister and Addie, and it said like sometimes you can find joy, like you find joy in trials. It's like the verse is blessed are the ones like who go through trials, I think is the verse. But you're blessed because, hey, this isn't permanent. This isn't our home. So I guess you said you find purpose in things you're doing. Because of that study, I would say when I think of heaven, I find less purpose in things that hurt, if that makes sense.
That hinder.
Yeah, I don't let things get to me as much. Because I'm like, well, I'm not home yet. Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, it totally changes your perspective on things. Totally. And it makes me want to share more about my testimony, because I know that the beauty of heaven is so important, and it's like being with Jesus. That's what it is. And so I want people to know about it. Not that I didn't before, but it just puts it into a different light. So
yeah. How do you go about sharing, I guess, or
yeah, that's a good question. I think I'm being really challenged right now in my walk because I'm in a different community. I think for a while I have just kind of been in Christian community forever, like just perpetually. And I now at this job, I have a lot of people that I interact with who aren't believers, and that's been really cool. And I think that I have found that I love listening to people's stories and being able to kind of recognize like where they've come from. And I have a coworker who I was able to pour into for a season. She like quit her job and she moved to her back home to Hawaii, but she, I know, lucky her, but I felt like it was really cool to get to hear her story, and I was able to ask her about like Jesus, and she grew up knowing about Jesus, and so we kind of talked about it, and I don't know, I think that was a blessing to me, and I hope it was a blessing to her. And so I think that, again, the Lord is growing me in how I'm witnessing to people in that way and sharing my own testimony, because that's huge too.
Going forward, how do you plan to keep implementing that, or maybe a next step in that?
Yeah, I think, loving people is really huge, meeting people where they're at, especially with, I talked about this a little bit earlier, but having a place in people's lives where they're very vulnerable, and people walk in and they're bringing their kid who needs help, and that's, especially for parents, that's really hard. That's really difficult. So I think that the Lord can use anything, and if I'm able to be kind and like show them that like you're valuable and you're worth it, even just that, I think is huge. And I need to work on like being patient with people too, because you deal with people all the time, and it's a part of it. They really can. That's
no joke. I don't even deal with that many people.
And no hate on people, but man, dude, just be nice.
I know.
Yeah.
Getting cussed out on the phone, like it's just kind of a part of what happens, and got to roll with the punches, and it's fine. So, yep.
Whatever.
Let it roll off the back. Yeah.
What you got?
What has a young adult small group meant to you? Like, how has that, I don't know, just, what has that meant to you?
I would say, so I've come to young adult group since I graduated. I think you guys have too.
We're like OGs.
I was going to say, we've been
we're
consistent.
OGs of the new group.
Yeah, we went when it was
are.
consistently like five people.
Yeah.
It was literally us three and Drew and
Emma.
Emma.
Yeah, no, it was small.
Faith.
That's true.
We don't want to miss someone.
I think Faith didn't start coming for a while, though, because I remember her talking to me about it.
She's
and I was
not
like,
an
you
OG.
need to come.
Okay.
She's close enough, though. She is an OG. Faith, if you're listening, you're an OG.
You, me, you, Sadie, Emma.
Anyway,
I can't think of anybody
Honestly,
else.
I don't know of anybody else. But yeah, we're just about the OGs.
We didn't even have enough to play for on the couch back when we started.
That's true.
Now we have too many.
Now we have so many.
which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yes. It's so cool.
Yeah. So how has that, I guess, impacted you, and how has it been cool to see that grow?
Yeah, I think for a while, I mean, young adult group was really small, but I think that there is a really cool beauty in like consistency, and Jeremy and Maureen have it every week, regardless of the size, and that's huge. And it's not that like the numbers mean that it's valuable, because it was valuable when it was 5 people, but I think now that like there's more people, we have a foundation, and they have been very consistent, and that has meant a lot to me, that they're not like phased by small groups or big groups, if that makes sense. And then just this year, I think since Passion, I have felt like our young adult group community has gotten really close. I feel like we all want to be there, which is really cool. And now that it's growing, we get to like share that with people. It changes the dynamic, but it's a good change, and I feel like it's been really cool for me. And yeah, I love it. I feel like I have really good friends there, which is nice.
Good.
Yeah.
How is it, or like what have you learned there, or recently that has helped you grow in your faith? Like what has God taught you recently?
Yeah, I think we're going through the series about community right now, which is very fitting. I think part of just coming to First Church in general, so through youth group and then young adult group, I think I have fluctuated, obviously, but been really challenged in knowing my identity in Jesus, and being confident and initiating with people, because I think coming to First Church, like, I think you guys all went to school together. A lot of you grew up together, and I didn't have that history. And so I kind of had to jump in and like take initiative with, this is who I am, and I'd like to be a part of this group. And so that has really grown me. And I feel like now I get to see people who are in that same boat and get to like reach out to them, because I know where they're at. And I know how scary it is to come into somewhere completely unfamiliar. No one knows you. And I think that has helped me have compassion for people in that position as well. And in other atmospheres too. It's not even just that community specifically, but just new people in general.
Yeah, which is cool, because I don't think that's something necessarily I think about. I haven't been in that position. So it's awesome that there's a bunch of different demographics, backgrounds, different families.
Absolutely.
Like, people from all over, which...
Yeah. And you guys are able to like bring people from school, and there's a lot of different schools represented at young adult groups. So the fact that we have so many opportunities to like bring new people in, and I just think that's cool.
Someone listening that's a young adult, why should they come?
Oh, why should you come? One, because we're awesome. Jeremy and Maureen are awesome. I think we are learning as a group how to be a community, so we're not perfect, but I think it's really important to have a group of people around you that love you. And so whether or not it's our young adult group, like, it's really important to find a group of people that you feel safe with, and that care for you, and that you're able to care for others and pour into them. And our group is learning how to do that, and I think that's really cool. And I think the Lord is doing something, and we can see it, and that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You've invited coworkers.
Mm-hmm.
It's been awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Have you invited?
I haven't, actually.
Okay.
I haven't invited anybody from my work. I've invited people that I know through First Church who don't come.
Okay.
At work, it's a little different because like I work with like people in their 30s, so it's not quite the same. But I would like to be able to invite people more often than what I do.
Yeah, but I guess my question next is like, what's holding some people back from inviting either to a group, to church, or whatever, and like, why shouldn't they hold back?
From inviting or from coming?
Inviting.
Okay.
Inviting. Because I think it can be a scary thing for a lot of people. And even us. Yeah.
Yeah, I think any group of people that you put together, there's going to be differences. And again, like there has been a group of people that has come to young adult group consistently. And so anytime you bring new people in, it can just feel different. And so I think I have dealt with I've prayed about this, like, Lord, I have found community now, and I don't necessarily want to put in the effort to like make community happen for other people too, because I just want to enjoy it now. But there's a part that's like, that's selfish, and I can build community even in inviting people, and that still, I don't know. So that's kind of what holds me back a little bit. And just the fear of like being rejected or being like, why would I come to that? Like, you should, like, you should come to it.
Never happens. Like,
right.
Every time I've invited someone, I've either been ghosted, which, okay, whatever.
Right.
You didn't cuss me out. Or
That's
call
true.
call me names. Or make
Get a
fun
win
of me.
where you can.
Okay, whatever. You didn't answer.
Yeah.
Nothing changes.
Right.
And the other times they come or they, say no thank you, whatever. Like, it's never rude.
No.
Our boy Clay at group said you can't win the game if you don't play.
Amen.
So, I mean, how are you going to win if you're not going to shoot, man?
Yeah, it's true.
You miss 100% of shots you don't take.
That's very true. And I don't think there is anybody that would be offended by being invited to something. Like,
True. No.
Like,
actually, I have ticked you off by inviting you before.
Oh, well,
To like
maybe
stupid
Zach's the
stuff.
exception.
To golf.
Like last minute, like I'm not gonna golf last minute, bro.
All right.
Anyway,
Because even if you can't go, like the
it's the thought.
yeah, like the honor of being invited to something is huge. I remember when I was first coming to First Church, if I was invited to something, I was over the moon. Like, maybe I wouldn't even be able to go, but I was like, oh my gosh, they thought of me. Like, how great. So invite somebody because it's worth it.
And we had a little guys group, like, stay after one time, and you invited your boy Tavion from work, and we were talking about, like, hey, how can we grow this? How can we invite people? We want to share this. It might have been me or someone said, like, hey, we don't want to be too overbearing to people by inviting them. And Zach's been asking Tavion all year, every week.
I've probably been asking him for like a year.
Yeah.
So like, hey, you want to come this week? I got something this week.
Yeah. And then Tavion goes, you will not overbear them. They'll be thankful. And that was really, really cool.
That's cool.
So
that's really cool. Because getting annoyed with being invited, like,
that's a you
you're
problem.
being invited. At that point,
At some point, then you're like, oh, I'll just go to get him to stop asking.
Right.
And then
like, give it a break.
Then what happens?
If you get annoyed because someone invites you to something, you need to check yourself.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, our time, this has been wrapping up here. Do you know the final question?
Yes. Question mark? Does it switch? It's one question.
It's
Okay, then
the
yes,
same
I do
one.
know it.
What is it?
Okay, is it live or vacation?
Vacation.
Vacation.
Vacation. Okay, because that changes things. I want to go to Austria.
Well, hold on.
What is the
Yeah, you got to
question?
say the question
Oh my gosh,
to the
okay.
people that maybe their first time.
Okay, so the
like, I want to
question
know
is-
Brad's daughter. Let's-
If you could travel anywhere for vacation, where would you go, right?
And it can
Is
be...
that accurate?
Yeah.
You can get there.
Dream vacation,
You can
essentially.
Dream
get
vacation,
there
okay.
however you want. You can even
Oh.
teleport.
Oh,
There's no money restrictions.
that's
And
lovely.
you need to tell us who you're bringing, what you're doing, where you're going.
This is like the whole deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like
And
all
at the, end of,
inclusive.
at the end of the year, we're going to raffle it off and we're going to give one person their dream vacation.
With what money?
Church card.
All right. You heard it here. You heard it here. You get the church card to take wherever you want.
The young adult fund.
You said it's a raffle at the end of the year?
No, we're joking.
No, I
That's
know.
not happening.
Well,
Disclaimer. Joke.
put it out there.
Satire. Not happening.
Well, anyway, I want to go to Austria with my sisters. So all four of us go to Austria, and they have a Sound of Music tour. So Sound of Music is a movie. Have you guys seen it?
It's a musical.
It is a musical.
Yes.
Okay. And they do,
Oh,
and they do a tour on where they shot the movie. And I want to do that with my sisters. Obviously, I think we'd fly there. That's
You
a
can
detail that we
teleport.
need to.
no, but
I
that's-
like flying.
That's the journey, man.
It's, I was gonna say it's
It gets
kind
you
of
out
the
of work
process
first.
Is
to
it
get
like
there.
a 14-hour flight over there? Or
Oh, I'm
something
sure.
Like that?
It's
Just
brutal,
going
probably.
first class.
That's
Maybe
true.
a PJ.
Yeah, because you guys are paying for it, right?
Private jet.
Oh yeah, okay, that'd be nice. But yeah, so I want to go to Austria. I think it's beautiful, and there's like mountains and like
Are you
towns
not
and water and
bringing
like.
parents?
I mean, they can come if they want to. I wasn't planning. We've talked about
That means no.
well, we've talked about it as sisters going. Like we've tried to make that a plan, and my parents haven't voiced wanting to come, so maybe it's them. They've gone on like 3 or 4 vacations without me in the last couple years.
You're an
So
adult.
right, so I can go on a vacation without them.
She's got a point. She's got a point.
Fair.
Yeah.
What's the coolest vacation you've been on?
Ooh. Vacation. We went to Maine a while ago, and I really like Maine. I have not been out of the country except for Canada. So, and Canada was cool too, but I like Maine a lot.
Dope.
Yeah.
Zach just went on a vacation.
Yeah.
Where'd you go, dude?
Yeah.
We went on a cruise, stopped at Key West, Jamaica, and the Cayman Islands.
How was it?
It was good. It was nice to relax and get away for a little bit. Just recharge and get back at it.
Reload.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Did you get seasick?
No.
That's good.
You can't even really tell that you're on a ship.
Yeah. In that big of a ship, it's.
Yeah.
It's a little burnt.
This is from work, actually.
Dude, it's from both,
You've
probably.
been back for a while.
I've been back for like 2.5 weeks, bro. This is
That's
this
your
is the
ba-
work.
that's
I'd be
your
concerned.
This is
base.
the work burn.
That's
bro.
your base layer of burn from Jamaica.
Probably.
I know a Jamaica burn when I see
No, you
one.
don't.
Yes, I
Different
do.
sun over there.
You see any monkeys?
No.
Oh, darn.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That's kind of unheard of, actually.
I didn't see like any wildlife, honestly.
Did you, like, swim in the ocean?
No.
Did you see wildlife there?
Did you get in
You're on a
any
cruise.
water?
The shower.
Did you get in the pool?
No.
Water slide?
No. I'm not a water guy.
Hot tub?
Oh, that's so sad.
No. No water other than the shower.
That's okay.
Gosh.
And
Oh, well.
we're going to drop some big news to the viewers.
Oh,
Zach and I got a crib.
We moved out into an
Yeah.
apartment.
Zach and I are
Bravo.
now roommates. This is now a roommate podcast.
It is.
that changes things.
My intention of saying that is this podcast is to build community. If you want to come over for dinner, reach out. We have a table.
We do have a table.
We got ramen. We got.
Heck yeah.
I'm just kidding. We would cook, or we have a meal train going.
No, we don't. We do not have a meal train. We have had a couple people that are our family
Bring you meals.
bring us meals. We don't have
As
a meal
housewarming
train.
gifts.
If you would like to make a meal and come over and leave
You're
it.
welcome
Stop
to.
asking people for food. Just learn how to
Some
cook.
people love that. Some
That's
people
true.
do that in a
It
heartbeat.
may be some people's ministry.
Yeah.
It might be.
But yeah, if you want to come see the place or come hang out with us, I mean, that's what we're all about here. Let us know. It's not It's not the chateau by any means, but hey.
How's it going? Is it going okay?
We haven't killed each other yet, so
That's good. It's been, what, a week?
Good. We're fine. We hang out, we eat, sleep.
That's usually what you do.
Yeah. All right, we got our first weekend coming up.
yeah, we'll see how that
The
goes.
boys are coming. We'll see how it rolls. But
Okay.
yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah.
As viewers, if you want to pray for our new journey, that'd be awesome.
It's a different phase of life.
Yeah. How can people connect with you or get to know you?
Yeah. I mean, if you see me, come talk to me. I would love to talk to you. Do I drop my number? What are you wanting?
I would not drop your phone number.
Drop your phone number.
How do people contact me?
So her phone number will be in the description below.
Pop it up on the screen. Boom.
Oh my gosh.
No, if you want to reach out to Sadie, hang out, do art, sing, whatever the heck you do, comment. We'll get you connected or
Yeah.
show you the comment, whatever.
Come to Young Adult Group. I'll be there every week. So,
Yep.
yep.
We'd love to keep getting to know you guys and build community, especially here in our town.
Yeah.
Anywhere. We may have some out-of-country guests coming up here in the summer.
Yeah.
That's
if you
exciting.
want to take a guess in the comments, first person to get it right wins a shout-out.
That's dope.
We just offered to give those away for free. You don't have to win
Can
them.
I guess who one might be?
Off air.
Yeah.
I can guess.
Off air.
No, let's get her a rip.
No, I don't want to spoil it for the.
That's fine.
For the viewers.
I don't need to
Because
say
if she
anything.
gets it right, then there's no
Then there's no surprise.
there's no
surprise.
there's no contest. Then we just shout her out
Okay,
right now.
I won't say anything.
Okay.
Not a problem.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for coming. Or thank you, Sadie, for coming. Thank you guys for listening and watching. It's been great. Please leave your feedback. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.